Can I sell this item on eBay? Or simply just how much is it worth? In this how-to video, I'm going to simply show you how to look up an item on eBay. You're going to see how much it's actually selling for, which means that tells you how much it's actually worth, not for what someone is asking for the item, because that's not how much it's worth. Today, we're going to be on our desktop on eBay looking up how much an item's worth. I'm going to take you garage sale style, looking up a few hard good items and a few pieces of clothing, and stay into the end for a bonus part if you're looking to resell online. Now, we're going to start with the hard good here. Many of you know I've been selling on eBay since 2001. I used to sell antiques collectibles, so I'm very familiar with hard goods till about 2016, where I switched over to all mostly clothing. We're going to be doing this garage sale style. Maybe there's some clothing, some hard goods, and we're going to go over a few things and see how much they're actually worth. Now, you might just be curious to know how much your item's worth, or you might be curious to know how much it's worth picking up an item to resell on eBay. Let's do exactly that first with this fish. This right here is a Lalique fish. It is signed at the bottom Lalique. It's in really good condition and it's blue. So let's hop into eBay and look up Lalique blue fish. Lalique crystal blue fish. You can see I've looked it up previously. On the first page, right off the bat, you see there are 113 blue Lalique fish listed. There's one just like the one I showed you for $89 or best offer, but that one is brand new. That one's a blowfish. We have a lot of five here. Oh, here's one that looks just like mine, $60 and free delivery. So right here alone, you can look at some of these for 60. You can say, hey, I can buy this for 60 and get free delivery to my house. Why would I pay 89? Well, that one's new, but why would I pay 89.99 for this one? I can get the exact same one for 60. So right there alone is your first piece of advice. Let's say someone's trying to sell you an item and they say this is worth 70 to $80 on eBay. I see it listed for 70 to $80 on eBay. You can say, well, I can actually buy it right now if I wanted to from multiple places for $60. But is it actually worth $60? We're going to find out. You know for sure you can buy it right now for less than 80. So it's really not worth 80. Right now I'm seeing it's worth about 60 if you want to buy it right now. But what we need to do is look the past 90 days and see what it's actually selling for. All right, so let's go down here, and on the left-hand column, you're going to find sold listings. Click on that box that says sold listings, and these are going to be the items, the Lalique fish, particularly that have sold in the last 90 days. You can see only 34 have sold, and there are 119 listed. So that kind of tells you that there are more for sale than people that want to actually buy them. So the demand's not super high for these Lalique fish. And you can see right here, here's one that went for 30. It's not like mine. Here's an orange one that went for 50. Here's a couple, one went for 60, one went for 59. But again, this one might have gone for 80. It's a different color of blue. Remember though, you can buy one for 60 right now with free shipping. So that's not really going to tell you it's worth the right amount. Here's some more, 59, 50. So really we're looking at around $50 for this blue fish. That's how much it's worth. Again, you can go back to eBay and people can ask whatever they want. Again, this person for $89, more than likely, they're not going to sell that item because you can simply buy it for $20 less from another seller right there. Now that I know that was kind of fast, let's go back to the beginning. Lalique Crystal Bluefish, you have it. You want to scroll down on the left, look at sold items. That tells you the sold, the actual ones that were purchased, how much people are willing to pay for that item, and that will give you a good idea of how much you'll be getting for that item. So if you're looking to pick this item up at a garage sale or sell it, you know what your buy cost should be. So eBay takes around 13 to 14% of the total sale, and you know your buy cost. I would pay for around $20 or less for this item, knowing it sells for around 50 and eBay is going to take their commission at 14%. Let's look up another item. Now we're going to go into clothing. We'll go back to another hard good here in a minute, but let's go into one of my best selling clothing lines, and that's Polo Ralph Lauren. Just a regular Sure. This one particularly, I'm going to look up. It's called a gingham check. It's a style of plaid. It's, let's say, the picnic table look that we're all accustomed to seeing, but you can see it in blue, you can see it in purple, in red, of course, and different other colors. Now, we're already on the sold. We're going to click out of the sold. Like we're just on eBay. We just typed it in. I want to sell this blue Polo Ralph Lauren gingham check shirt. Well, you can see there's 2,500 of them listed, and you can see how much people are asking. We got 24. That one's new with tags. So we're going to come up to the top. Let's look at condition. Switch the condition to used because the one we're going to look up is used. There are 2,100 of those listed. And you know what? The one we have, let's just pretend it is a large. We're going to click large. So you can dwindle it down as much as you want by color. You can change it to long sleeve. So right now we're in a Polo Ralph Lauren gingham check blue large long sleeve button shirt. You can see how much people are asking. Again, that's not how much they're selling for. $29. I sell these all the time. I do not get 29. I don't get 25 for mine. My selling cost is usually around 20 to $22. So we're going to come down to sold again, and we're going to see how much people are actually buying them for. Wait a minute. Check this out. 85 have sold in the last 90 days, and there are how many? There are 518 active. So in the last 90 days, only 90 or 85 have sold, however many we just saw. Less than 100 have sold, and there are 518 for sale. So that sell-through rate is not great, which means there's quite a bit of competition for your item and not a lot of demand. There's a lot on the market. What you would be looking for a high sell-through rate is that the sold items would be more comparable to 518 or even more than 518. In this particular example, it's not. It's less than 518. It's 85. And now you can see how much they're selling for. 17.99 free delivery. 19.99 plus $6 delivered. This little slanted number right here tells you that it's outside the United States, so disregard those. But you can see right here 18, 15, 18, 19, and that's about right. I sell mine for around $20 for a men's large gingham check polo shirt. That's how much it's worth. If you're at a thrift store, how much are you willing to spend on that item? Considering the time it takes to list it, take photos, ship it, all that sort of thing. For me, I'm willing to spend around $5, not much more, because after selling it for $20 and eBay taking their profit and my buy cost, I'm looking at around 10, 11 to $12 profit on that shirt. All right, this next one is going to be for you baby boomers out there. We're going to look up Hummel figurine. Oh, good old Hummels. Now, these were super popular back in the day, as you know, and even maybe 15 or 20 years ago, I was selling these on eBay pretty regularly. But as you can see here soon, they've really fallen off. There's not many collectors out there. The demand's just not high like it used to be. So there's 80,000 of them plus listed that you can buy right now on eBay. We want to look up how much they're selling for. So, particularly, let's look up Hummel Girl Shopper, since we just saw that. Hummel Girl Shopper, not shipper, shopper. And we're doing this in real time. We have 191 listed. You can see how much people are asking for it. There's a same, it's all the same. So there you go. There's some that are 15, some that are 14. Now, me having sold Hummel before, there are some of these that will sell for more than others because they have the original mark. They're the original oldest style of this. It was the first one that they produced, and then they made reproductions after that. So if you want to, you can come over here and price it from highest to lowest, but we're not. We're just looking at what people are asking for this particular Hummel. All right, so we're at a garage sale. People are asking whatever they are, 15, 12, $20 at a garage sale. You're going to come over here, you're going to look up solds. You can see how much you're actually selling for. And how many are there sold? 10. Only 10 have sold, so keep that in mind. And these are lots mostly. $2.50 for one. $2.50 for one of these Hummels that we just looked up. 15, 16. So again, and that has a third mark on it. So again, you really don't want to be paying a lot. How many have sold? 10. And how many are listed? 191. That is a horrible sell-through rate. To me, I wouldn't even buy this for $1. You're just going to be sitting on this item for a very long time. Now, it doesn't mean all Hummels are not worth picking up. Of course, we can look up Hummel large umbrella figurines. I have seen these and sold these in the past. You can see these bring a lot more money. They are big. You can see people are asking 350 for this. Let's look how crazy people can be right now. Highest price, $2,000 for one or two of these, a pair of these for $1,500. So what I would tell you, if you're getting online, you're saying, ooh, my item's worth $1,500. Hmm, let's see what I could actually buy it for. You can get the exact same pair for 350 right now, or you can even start bidding at 199 and possibly get it for less. So no, they're not worth $1,500. Let's look and see how much they're actually worth. We're going to come back down again to sold listings. This is how much people actually paid for the item. Let's look for a pair. This one's $499 with a cross through the middle, which means someone took a best offer. We don't know what that offer is. Could have been 489, could have been 200. We don't know. So let's find one with bids. There's one with bids. $276 for the pair, the 8-inch Hummel pair. So realistically, you're looking at around 300, which kind of matches with that last one that had a $199 bid and 300 buy it now. For these Hummels, you're looking at around 250 to $300 is the sell resale value on eBay. Let's go back to the eBay homepage and play around a little bit. I go live all the time answering reseller questions, and often I get, is this brand or is this style worth picking up? So let's have fun. A brand, particularly, I'm going to look up is men's vintage Nautica. We're going to look at men's vintage Nautica sweater. Now, someone the other day in one of my lives said, hey, I found this men's vintage Nautica sweater. Is worth picking up? I couldn't see the sweater, obviously, but I said, you know what? Let's look around and see if Nautica is even worth looking up if it is a sweater. Now, remember, it's seasonal. Also, you got to keep that in mind. But we're looking up used. I went to condition used, and we're going to come down here. Look at these really cool ones. Oh, man, these are cool. But again, that's what people are asking. Nautica, very similar to Polo Ralph Lauren back in the day. I remember wearing Nautica and Polo similarly priced kind of back in the day too. We're going to look up sold and we're going to come over here to sort and we're going to look up highest price. So these are the most expensive ones that have sold in the last 90 days. And check this out. $50 is the most expensive Nautica sweater that's vintage that you can find. So if someone came on my live and said, I have a vintage Nautica sweater, how much is it worth? Is it worth picking up? Unless it's one of these really crazy, cool vintage Nautica sweaters, I'm not paying much more than $5 for that item. If this was a Polo Ralph Lauren sweater right here, this sweater would sell for minimum $100 probably on eBay. But for Nautica, it's not. And let's come down here to the bottom. At the bottom of the highest, the first page, the highest priced ones, 17, 20, 18, 19. So is Nautica vintage sweater something I want to be picking up and looking for at the thrift store or garage sales to resell online? No. But what if we change it to Polo Ralph Lauren? Check this out. So we're going to look up, instead of Nautica, we're going to look up Polo Ralph Lauren. So vintage Polo Ralph Lauren sweater. Let's see how many. Oh, look how many sold. Let's go back again. 102 Nautica have sold in the last 90 days. Over 3,200 Polo Ralph Lauren, which means it is highly in demand and there are a lot of really good styles. And check out the prices on these thousands of dollars, hundreds of dollars. Of course, this is just the first page from the priced highest to the lowest. But look, we can go way down the line. Remember, there were only 2 pages of solds on Nautica. Let's go way down the line. Page 8 for Polo Ralph Lauren. We're still in the $100 range for sweaters. So, is your Polo Ralph Lauren vintage sweater worth picking up? There's a lot of them worth a lot of money. So that's something I want to be looking up online. Check these out. Now let's look up one more brand, Chaps Ralph Lauren. I get that brand asked a lot. Chaps Ralph Lauren. Now, I want you to know that Chaps is actually not owned by Ralph Lauren anymore. Over a decade ago, they sold it off. So if you see it in the store, it's not Polo Ralph Lauren anymore. If it's new, it's Chaps. It's not Polo Ralph or Ralph Lauren. It's not Chaps Ralph Lauren. Let's look at the highest priced again to the lowest. And again, we have our sold on. So we have our sold item. These are the ones that actually sold. And you can see there's suits, there's blazers, there's jackets. Those are the ones we want to look for chaps. And I guess colognes, those sell for a lot of money. Let's go down here and look at another page. We're going to scroll on over to, let's just say the fifth page. And we're looking in the 50s or less, 50s, 40s. And you can see these chaps items are unique. We have many ties. We have blazers, jackets, gold button blazers, even this really cool print, pre-owned, $45. So for the most part, I don't pick up chaps, but you can see there are some that are worth picking up. In this how-to video, we did a rudimentary look into how to figure out how much your item is worth online. Again, it's only worth what people will pay for your item. If you want more reseller content, make sure you subscribe and I'll see you in the next one.